Hello everyone and welcome here in the third episode of our Codemas challenge. If you didn't see the previous two videos, go back and check them out right now. In this video, we will make a Christmas countdown calendar. The final app will look like this. As you can see, there's a video in the background that shows the users how many candles burning in the advent calendar. And at the top there is this countdown section where it appears that how many days we have till Christmas. This is today's countdown because this is December 11th and we have 13 days until Christmas. As you can see, we have two candles burning in the advent calendar, so in the background video we can see this very well. Okay, without further ado, let's start making this cool app. I'm creating a new Flutter project in Visual Studio Code. I name it Codemas 3 since this is the third app in this Codemas challenge. And you can find all the images and videos that we will use on my GitHub here. And here's an assets folder, and in the assets folder you will find 5 different videos for the candles and one calendar.png for the countdown calendar. I am downloading this assets folder and then I am pasting the assets folder into my newly made Codemas 3 Flutter project. Okay, since we have an asset folder and we want to load images and videos from that assets folder, we need to set this section inside the pubsec file. So let's write this assets and the assets folder and save it, and Visual Studio Code runs pubget automatically. Let's go back to the main.dart. What we're gonna need is a background video. For playing the video, we should use this video player package that we have to install. First of all, we need to paste this line into the dependencies inside the pubsec file. Okay, and then run pubget. And finally, we have to import it inside the main.dart file as well, just as usual. Let's see how can we use this package. Okay, it says that if you're using iOS simulator, you probably have to paste those lines into your info.plist file, but since I am not using an iOS simulator right now but an Android emulator, I just skip those instructions. As you can see, there's an example. Right now I'm just copying this whole example and paste it into my main.dart file. Okay, I'm just deleting this test folder. Okay, everything's fine. As you can see, inside the init state function we have this controller section, and this is where we need to load the video from the assets. So let's just write asset here, and then we have to load it from the assets folder. So let's write assets / advent1.mp4. Okay, let's save it. Down here we don't need this floating action button for sure, because we want this background video to, be in the background and not be controlled by an action button. And we also don't need this section, we only need this video player. Okay, let's try it out on the simulator. While it's loading, I am deleting this function as well. And as you can see, basically we have a stateful widget and we have a variable called controller, which is a video player controller. So this controller variable has a type of video player controller, and inside the init state we give a value to this controller variable, and this value will be the video we want to play. Therefore, when the user starts the app, this init state function will run and the video will appear in the background. And as you can see inside the build function, inside the scaffold, we have only this video player widget that plays this controller object. Okay, while this emulator is loading, let me just show you what's inside this assets folder. First of all, there's four different videos for the advent calendar. There is one where only one candle is burning. Oops, sorry. There is one with 2 candles, 3 candles, and 4 candles. Okay, we have the calendar.png, which is only this calendar section, and we will write the numbers on the top of this image. And we have this advent0.mp4. So this advent0 is basically an empty background video, which we will use to make sure that if it's not time for countdown, aka it's not December, then the advent calendar won't appear on the screen. The emulator is loaded, so it's time for running the app. Okay, as you can see, the app is loaded and 1 candle is burning, just as we said with this advent1.mp4. I want to, okay, we don't need this title. I want to make sure that this debug show check mode banner is false inside the material app, because this line makes sure that this debug thing won't appear in this corner, as you can see now. Okay, so the video is working. It's great. So the next step is the calendar. I'm wrapping this center widget with a stack widget. I am using a stack widget because I will use a position widget, and we need a stack widget for this position widget. Okay, so inside this stack widget, we will need an image.asset widget with the image of assets/calendar.png. Okay, and save it. Here is the calendar, but it's a little bit too big. Let's set its height to 300. It's too small, so 350. I think it's good. I am wrapping this widget with a center, but now it's not the right position, because it should be up here, not down there in the center. So I'm wrapping this center widget with a padding widget, and I'm setting the edge insets only to the bottom, and I'm setting this to 300. Okay, in this way the candles looks nice, I think, in the bottom part of the screen, and the calendar is on the upper part of the screen. We need another thing inside this stack widget, a text with a number. Let's make it to 9. Okay, as you can see, it's here, teeny tiny 9 in the corner. So we should style it. Let's set the text style. So I'm setting the font size to 200, which is huge, but we need a huge number here. And let's place it to the center, so wrap it with a center widget, and just the same way as we did with the image, we need to set its padding. I'm setting its padding to be bottom and 330. In this way, we can make sure that the text is at the center of this white square, and yes, not the whole image, and this is why I didn't write 300 but 330, to make sure that the text is in the center of the white square. I want to wrap this text with a new widget, and this widget is called rotation transition, and this widget can rotate our text. With this number 9 we cannot really see what's the problem, but since this calendar is a little bit rotated, to be exact, it's rotated with -1 degree, so we need to rotate the numbers with this -1 degree. We can do this in the following way. We need to set the turn to always stopped animation, and inside this we can set this -1 degree by writing -1 divided with 360, and don't forget the comma. And here we go. The change is not visible, but trust me, when we have bigger numbers or other numbers, not that number 9, it will be much more visible. Next thing we want to do is we need to write a function. Let's name this function to get current date, and inside this function we have to make sure that this countdown is working properly. For this we should create some variables. Let's create a today day variable, which will be the today. Like today is December 11th, so we want this today day to be 11. How can we make sure of this? We need to use our old friend. So if you saw the Weather Up tutorial in this channel, you should be familiar with this DateFormat concept. Basically, we have this DateFormat class that can format the current date. Let's just copy this line and paste it here. But we need only the date, so we need this D function from this DateFormat, and we need to import this DateFormat as well. The DateFormat function is inside this include package. Therefore, we need to follow these instructions. Let's paste it into the pubsec file, and yes, run pubget, and then paste this import line into the main.dart file. If we did everything right, now this error should disappear. Okay, it's still loading, but it will disappear. We need another variable, and let's name it today month. It uses the same concept, but it uses another function, this for_m function. This expression will return with the current month, so currently this today month will be December. I am setting a variable for the Christmas day as well. In my country, we have the Christmas day on the 24th of December, so I'm setting this to 24. If you have other customs in your country, you can set it other numbers as well, to 25, for example. And there will be a really important equation. The day is still Christmas. We need to calculate how many days we have until Christmas. For this, we need to subtract the today's day from the Christmas day. Therefore, today I will subtract 11 from this 24. So we need to write today day here. Oh, I'm sorry. We need to make sure that this is a state. Thus, let's declare this up here. So days till Christmas. Okay. Okay. So this date format is not working. Let's go back to PubSec and save it again. Okay, now it's working. There's a tiny problem with this today day. It's not a numeric type, but it's a string. Therefore, we need to convert this numeric type data into a string. We need to use this in.parse function. And there we go. We have this day till Christmas. Now we can check out that we wrote everything right. Let's just go to the text widget and write this days till Christmas variable and save it, and check out that this number 9 disappears. And oh, sorry, we got an error because this days till Christmas is a number and we need to convert it to a string. Okay, reload it and we got a huge null. Okay, why we got this huge null? Because we didn't call this getCurrentDate function at all. So don't forget to call this function up here inside the init state. Okay, let's reload this whole, let's reload this whole app to make sure that this init state gets called. And here we go. We have the exact days that we have until Christmas. Since it's the 11th of December, yes, we have 13 days till Christmas. I don't really like how this number 13 looks like because in my opinion there is too big gap between the 1 and the 3. Therefore, I am further styling this text. I'm setting its letter spacing property to -20. As you can see, it has more gap between the digits, and in my opinion it looks better in this way. Okay, so the countdown section is ready, but the candle section, the advent calendar section is not really working. Therefore, we should write this thing inside the getCurrentDate function as well. Let's write an if function where we can check that the month of today is December or not. When it's December, we should check out the exact date, because as you can see in the calendar, we need to lit a candle in each Sunday until Christmas, and this is where Christmas will be, so it will be in Thursday, Friday and Saturday. So we have to lit the last candle on the 20th of December. Therefore, we will lit the third candle on the 13th, and we have already lit candles on the 6th of December and on the 29th of November. Therefore, we not only have to check out that if it's December, we need to check when it's November. And if it's November, then we have to check out the today's date. We need to use this int.parse function again, and we need to check that if it's November 29th, it won't be enough if it's the 29th of November, because the candle needs to burn after 29 for a whole week. Therefore, if it's bigger or equal with 29, then we have to make sure that the first image appears in the background. Therefore, we need to create a variable, and I name it advent number, which is 0 at the start, and we need to make sure that this advent number is 1 after November 29. Okay, we need to do the very same thing in December as well. So first we need to make sure if it's past the 6th of December, but it's still not the 13th of December, so this today day has to be smaller than 13. And in this case, we have to use the second video, therefore the advent number has to be 2. We have to do the same with the next candle. So I'm just copying this whole thing inside the if function, but here we need to make sure that it's bigger or equal with 13 and smaller than 20. And in this case, we have to make sure that the advent number is 3. And the last case is when this in that pairs today day. By the way, I don't know what's the problem with this parse, since it worked just fine up here, so I hope it will disappear after I save it and run it on the simulator. So don't focus on that right now, focus on the if function, because we need to make sure that the advent number is 4 in case of the date is bigger than 20. Okay, save it and rerun it, and please parse function. What's wrong with you here? Okay, I know what's wrong with you here, but I don't know what's wrong with you there. Interesting. But we need to use it as well, so let's write here to the video player controller that we need that number which has the advent number at the end of its file name. Okay, I save it and reload it to the emulator. We have this thing up and running, and it's working really good. I mean this in.parse error just went away after I restarted my computer, but after that I got another error for the emulator, so I need to delete that emulator and I created a new one inside Android Studio. So this tutorial starts to be a mess thing again, but it's working now. So I wrote this advent number here after the advent and before the .mp4 strings, and there we go, we have 2 candles burning and we have 13 days till Christmas. And a last thing I want to make sure of, so I want to check out that if it's December or not, because if it's not December, like for example it's January next year, then the user won't see the countdown because there's a lot of days till Christmas. What I don't want to disappoint the user with that huge number, like 350 days till Christmas, because it just doesn't look so nice in my opinion. So let's set it to false because in default it's not December. And down here where we check out that if it's December, we should set this is December to true. Yes. And in this text we can check that if it's December, so we are using the conditional operator. If you don't know what is a conditional operator, I highly recommend my Instagram tutorial part 1 when I describe this term in more detail. So basically if it's December, it will write this 13, but if it's not December, it will write something else, for example an infinity sign if you wish. I'm just copying this here, and voila. If it won't be December but another month, then instead of this number 13 or number something else, it would be this infinity sign. This is how the app looks like when it's not December and it's not the period of the Advent. It's empty down here and it has an infinity sign, meaning that there's a lot of days till Christmas, so don't even hope that it will ever come. But you know, I'm just joking. This is the 3 candle version of the Advent calendar. Of course, this number 13 is not good with this 3 candle version, but this is how it will look like after Sunday or even on Sunday as well. So don't forget to check back here inside your app that you coded, because this will change in each week, as you know, and this section will change on each day. So it will be pretty exciting to go back and check how many days we have until Christmas. That's all. We are ready with the Christmas countdown calendar app. I hope you liked this tutorial. If you do so, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell icon as well to get notified about the latest videos on this channel. Until next time, bye!